Hello everyone. Thank you for coming to Dafan the ProfessorZ live stream. I'm trying something different today, sitting on my dining room table where I've been working on during this coronavirus pandemic quarantine. I spend I spent like 5-6 hours here sitting at a dining room table in front of my computer because we're stuck here. But anyway, so today, thank you for coming. And if this is your first time here, please subscribe. If it's not your first time here, then you know I make a lot of entrepreneurship videos, and you guys can see it on my channel. And let's get on to this week's topic. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about work for yourself as entrepreneur. And but before we get to do that, let me talk about some updates. So I've had kind of like a tough week and doing a lot of classes, but being stuck here. But taking my wife's advice, I want to direct my energy on doing something I'm passionate about and doing something that I enjoy. So that means more creative projects. So what does that mean? So I started doing a few things this week new. One, I started a new meetup group. I have a couple of meetup groups on small businesses in Philadelphia area, but since I've been doing a lot of YouTube stuff, I decided to start a YouTube meetup. So that's on meetup.com. That's Philly YouTubers. I just started 2 days ago. We're going to have a virtual meet on Friday. And hopefully when the world opens back up, we can go outside and we'll get more YouTubers together so we can collaboratively make videos together. You know, when I was looking at some of the YouTube creator levels and rewards, I really like the fact that you can use the YouTube space once you reach a certain level, and I want to provide that for smaller channels, I guess. And then besides, there's no YouTube space in Philadelphia, so I'm going to use my studio and make it a place where people can come and meet and collaborate and work together. So look forward to that opening in the summertime. But anyway, I started this meetup. We'll go through some virtual meetups and let's see how it goes. So if you guys want to join, go on Meetup and look up Philly YouTubers. And on to the next thing, I also got a new camera. There it is, a new Sony RX100 Mark 7. Apparently the best the best vlog camera there is, point and shoot. And we've been trying it out. It works really well. Let me see. It works much better than this, which is my GH5 that I use to do the class videos and do vlogs. I mean, I like the quality on the GH5, but it is pain to use. And on top of that, my wife is not a photographer kind of person. She likes point and shoot, so this will help her make some videos. So if those are my vlogging cameras, what am I on? I'm not actually on a webcam. I have two more GoPro, so I'm using a GoPro in front of my computer right now as a webcam for this live stream. So those are the new things. And then also, if you guys don't know, my wife and I have a channel on basically family vlogging. It's Dafan and Sue Try to Do It All, and the channel is listed on the channel lineup. If you go to my channel, you will see it, and hopefully you will enjoy meeting her and some of the stories that we do for our family. So check that out if you can. And on the professional front, it's really tough stuck in the house because a lot of stuff is a standstill. The law practice is really not moving anywhere. I work mostly with small businesses, so they're not doing business. I'm not doing business. And some of the other projects that had some synergy going forward. And one of the things we were working on, augmented reality app. Well, augmented reality, I will show it probably in the next couple weeks and what we were doing, but you have to be on location to do augmented reality. Well, we're not on location, so you can't go to places to visit, so you can't see augmented reality. So that's a bummer. So we're trying to adapt to the new age, the situation right now. So while working on that, so I've been working on some app stuff, and then I finally picked up a new iOS development kit and realized that there's a new way to make iOS apps for the newer iOS devices. And that version really speaks to me a lot more than the old way of using, if you guys know development, the old way of making iOS apps. So I really enjoy this new way of making iOS apps. So I'm gonna spend some time and get into making apps again, and I will chronicle that on this channel as well. So the goal, believe it or not, I'm starting a new e-commerce app venture, and I'm trying to use that as a project to get up to speed about making iOS apps and the new version of iOS apps, and also to try to make a successful project out of it. And this thing, and a lot of people has been leaving comments on my $1 million video, because people are like, well, how are you going to make $1 million? You probably don't even know how to make $1 million. And they don't like, I guess, the simple math I put in on those videos. So I am making a basically a commitment here to my channel, to myself, and to everyone that's questioned me and everyone that watches this, that I'm going to try to make an app where I can get 100,000 users to pay $100 each. I mean, 10,000 users to pay 100,000 each. Sorry, 10,000 users to pay $100 each. That adds up to $1 million. 10,000 users, $100 each. So that's what I'm going to try to make, and we're going to market, and let's see if we can make $1 million out of that. And maybe that's more believable once you see a product in your hand instead of talking about pizza shops. See, I thought talking about pizza shops will get people to understand and relate to it more, but obviously not. So we'll try to do apps. 10,000 users, $100 each. That's my goal. I'm going to go for it. So anyway, so that's the update stuff. And onto what the topics I planned for today is we're going to talk about working for yourself. So obviously I work for myself, and I've been working for myself for a long time. I used to work for myself a bit when, part-time. I had a side hustle. Then I become mainly working for myself as self-employed or business owner. And I've been doing that for 20 plus years. But to understand why I work for myself, we have to go back into what I did before then. So I did have a job. I had many jobs. As a matter of fact, I was planning on making a video on how many jobs I've had. And I've had 30 plus jobs in the 25 years of working. And if you can do the math right, that's averaging less than 1 year per job. Why? Because I never stayed at a job long enough to really count many years. So as a matter of fact, the longest job I've ever had was 2+ years. And that was the first job out of law school. Salary was good, so I stayed around longer. But any of the other jobs, I never stayed that. And the longest job before that was about 10 or 11 months before I went to law school. So I recounted all the jobs. I actually sat down and came up with a list of all the jobs I had, and I plan on making a video going through every job that I've had. I'm amazed that I had that many jobs. So I will make that video, and you guys will see it and tell me how it is. Or maybe I'm just not employable, right? To be technically correct, currently I'm a professor, and I've been there for 4 years, so that counts as a job. But I really never viewed that as a job like a full-time job, even though it's counted as a full-time job, because I have my summers off because I don't teach summer classes, and I'm only going on campus 3 days a week, and I work a lot and I teach a lot, but I also leave myself enough time to do other things, to pursue other things. And that's the reason I like being a professor. And that's why I continue to do it, right? And one, I like being an educator. That's why I make this channel. I like the content that I make. I like to share knowledge. But on top of that, I also had the flexibility to pursue other things. And that's one of the best things about, and I talked about that in a previous video. So let's talk about the good reasons, the things why we have a job, right? Having a job isn't really a bad thing at all. Having a job means having a paycheck, having the security, having the predictability. And that's ever more pronounced now in this crisis, because I'm sitting home. Yes, my business is suffering as many other small businesses. However, I still have this professor job, and it still pays, and we have a contract, and that has not gone anywhere yet. And doesn't look like it will be because the budgeting process and whatnot. So that's a little bit of security that allows me to stomach much of the stress and not affect me as much. But if I was purely working for myself and have all my businesses shut down, I will be in much worse shape, of course, like everybody else. So, even though a large part of my income is on pulse, and I still have some, not a big part, because being a professor doesn't really get paid a lot, but not a big part, but it's still a meaningful amount of money coming in. So that makes me able to weather a storm much better and much easier, right? So the security is good. But what's the bad thing about having a job? And these are the things I never accepted. That's why I never really had a job for very long. First thing, there's a lack of freedom. And that means a lot to me. Like, I want to have the flexibility to do things, to do what I'm passionate about, to make priorities for myself, to be able to make decisions for myself. And that's just not the case when you work for a job, no matter how good a job is. The closest thing I've ever come to as with regard to freedom is being a professor, because we have academic freedom as a professor. In the classroom, we get to teach however we want to teach, as long as it fulfills the requirement of the educational requirement. And then the day-to-day is pretty flex, and hours are pretty flex. The courses, we get to choose what we teach. So there's a decent amount of freedom, but it's still not all freedom. And I recognize that. But many other jobs don't afford you that, right? And then lack of creative control. Even if you're a creative worker, you make videos, or if you're a graphic designer, you might be working in a graphic design company or a marketing company or a video company. You don't always get to make what you want to make. I used to be a web designer. My best design, people laughed at and didn't like. The ones that I didn't like, they really wanted. I remember early, this is in the late 90s, there's some guys usually come in and say, make this red box that sell as big as possible and put it on a website. I mean, who does that? But he wants it, and he pays for my salary, and he pays my fees, and I have to make what he wants. So the lack of creative controls is, especially for a creative person, it's fairly frustrating. And a lot of people have to deal with that because that's their only income, and they have to just kind of like bite their tongue and go with what they are told to do. But it doesn't have to be that way. If you work for yourself, you will have control over your creativity. You can choose to do some projects. You can choose not to do some projects. That's why being a YouTuber or making videos is so liberating, because you can just make what you want. Maybe some people don't want to watch it. Maybe some people don't like my channel. That's fine. Other people like it, and I can make whatever I want. And as long as I'm not depending on this for income, and I'm not forced or desperate, and I'm not forced to make whatever content other people tell me to make, I can be myself. Then that's the freedom that everybody enjoy here. That's why people want to make money on YouTube, and that's a big part of working for yourself. And then last thing is opportunity cost. When you're working full time, you don't have a lot of time. You will turn down a lot of opportunities, especially opportunities that might have a great big payoff at the end, but it comes at some risk. Imagine somebody come to you and say, I want you to be a business partner with me, and we're going to make an app and have billions of users and then make billions of dollars. Now, I was in one of my classes today. We were looking at an early pitch deck for Airbnb and for Uber and for YouTube. And if you were working at say PayPal, right? Your friend wants to start YouTube, but you have a great job. You're getting paid a lot of money, and if you give up that job, then you will have no income, no security anymore. But on the other hand, if somebody trying to recruit you to do a big project and you stayed at your job instead of taking that opportunity, years later you might be looking at the next YouTube, the next Uber, and says, I should have been part of that. Somebody asked me to be a part, but I was too afraid to give up my income. So the opportunity cost can be great, especially if you're talented and then you have what it takes to make a successful business. So working for yourself allows you, along with the freedom and the control over your life and your professional life, allows you to juggle your schedule, to trying to rearrange your life so you can take advantage of opportunities that comes your way. And that's really important. That's super important to me. I never want to be the person who's laying on my deathbed and says, I have a regret. I wish I could have done something differently. I wish I could have done this. I wish I could have done that. Life is short. And my wife was always joke with me and say, YOLO, you only live once. So go and pursue your passions. And that's what she tells me to do. And that's why I follow her advice and I'm pursuing my passions. Even if some passions might make more sense than others. So then working for yourself, at least to me, is the way to go. And it might be the way for you if you're willing to take the chance and if you make a plan and are able to are able to stomach the up and downs. So then let's talk about the good things of working for yourself, right? So the good thing for yourself absolutely is to be able to have the freedom to pursue whatever things. And then it's so liberating to sit somewhere and then someone says, well, you know what, I have a good idea. And you can say, that is a good idea, and let's do it. Let's drop everything and do it. Maybe not drop everything, but you can do it. So when an opportunity walks through the door or when opportunity knock on the door, you don't have to hesitate. You can rearrange and make things happen. And another plus, at a time like this, when there are, when a time like this when everybody is having troubles and everybody's going through hard times, if you have the experience and the aptitude and the desire, the ability, and really the courage to work for yourself, to pursue your passions, to pursue opportunities, then you can make something happen. And why the reason I started thinking about doing is, making new iOS apps or looking at a new project is I read the news, I see everybody is having a hard time. I'm trying to figure out how to, one, get through this part, and two, how to adapt to the new normal. What if this is the new normal? What if we have to be stuck here for 6 months rather than just 2 months? Do I just buy my time and wait for my business to go under, or rely on a government bailout or get on unemployment? All those things help, but they should have a purpose. Those help should propel you forward. And having done a lot of things on my own and having started many things from scratch, this is an opportunity. This is a perfect opportunity for me to look at what's going on out there, because not a lot of people are innovating, not a lot of people are pushing forward and operating. This is an opportunity for me to look at what's out there, look at what I can do for the world, and what opportunities out there, reach out and try to do something. But if I was still working from home, if I was stuck at my job or in the career where I must follow through that career because I have a lot of sunk costs into it and I need to keep pursuing that, then I don't think I don't think I would take up on that opportunity, right? A lot of people are at home right now. You see YouTubers are making new kind of content, and I'm starting 2 different live stream. I'm starting 2 new channels for other topics, and I'm making more videos. I'm transitioning all the teaching online. At the end of this, maybe I gained so much more teaching online at the college level now through this crisis, and I can take the time to reflect on what I learned and what's the most effective way to deliver hybrid education. I see my kids in elementary school going to school online. It doesn't work out that well. We all know it doesn't work out that well. That's a problem. What if it happens again? Or what if we need to get more distant education? What if there's another issue or whatever it is? So there's an opportunity to make something better. Everybody's using Zoom and everybody's getting Zoom bombed. There's security issues. There's an opportunity for someone to make it better teleconferencing. So ed tech in my area, teaching online, teaching remotely, that's certainly a way to innovate. E-commerce is certainly a way to innovate because a lot of businesses are closed. You can't go shop online. And maybe if people realize that they can do most of the shopping, do most of their commercial activities in online rather than in person, and they can still do it reasonably well, then e-commerce will take a step forward. So it isn't just Amazon. Maybe restaurants, maybe other boutiques, maybe other niche kind of retailers will then take the time to adapt to the online landscape and never really fully go back to retail. Or maybe retail will go through a renaissance because a lot of a lot of retailers are going to go under. I mean, a lot of chain retailers might go under. Now they leave space in the marketplace for new players to come in. So there's a lot of things we can do, but if our mindset is focused on how can we get back to where we were, if you had a job before this crisis, you were furloughed or you were laid off, and all you are focused on is to get back there, make up for lost time, then you will just wave every other opportunities goodbye. But if you open up your mind and you look at the situation and says, you know, maybe this is the best opportunity for me to reassess what I want and what I want out of life, what I want out of my career, do a skill inventory, see what I can do, and then maybe take this time, when this idle time that you have, and try to do something, try to try something. You never know. Maybe the next thing you try is actually going to be the thing that makes you super successful, makes you super happy, and then give you the freedom you want in life, right? I don't know why it took me 25 minutes or so to get to the gist of what I want to express, which is I took the step, as I said in the other video, I took the step of becoming an entrepreneur, and I did it out of necessity the first time, and the second time I did it by choice because I realized what it means, what it can give me, and as long as the situation is right, as long as I can protect myself, protect my family, and it will work out wonderfully, and it has for me very well. And I enjoy sharing these knowledge with you guys. I enjoy making these videos, and I answer on one of the videos I get a lot of negative comments, and I actually addressed them all, and I wish everyone can see what I can see from this side of the camera. Having gone through my journey and having done everything I've done, you can see how much more freedom and happiness and satisfaction and fulfillment you can get through working for yourself and being an entrepreneur. So hopefully these talks, the stories I tell, aside from the skills that I try to teach, can help you guys forward in your journey to entrepreneurship. So, as always, I'm so glad to share this with you guys. And if you guys have any questions, leave in the comments. I'll address it in the next session. And I'm not sure if this is the best time for everyone to see this live stream. I choose 10 o'clock because the kids go to bed and I have a little bit of time to sit here and watch, to do this basically alone and not interrupted. Otherwise you're going to be seeing a lot of kids running around. So if this time, if anyone would like to see this at a different time, please let me know and I will try to accommodate. But in the meantime, I've committed to doing this on a weekly basis to share my stories. I also make more videos doing a shorter version of telling my little stories. I'm sure everybody will enjoy listening. And in the meantime, enjoy those instructional videos on entrepreneurship skills, and hopefully you can learn something from it. But again, I'm very open. I respond to all the comments, and I appreciate all of you that subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I'll get to know some of you personally. And especially when the world opens up, when I can do actual real world events, and everyone is welcome to be a part of what I'm trying to build, this entrepreneur community I'm trying to build. But please, if you like this, please let me know, and please like and please subscribe and share the knowledge, share the success, share the motivation. And until next time, this is Dafan the ProfessorZ, guiding you on your journey to success, freedom, and then satisfaction. And let me wish all of you be successful. Have a good night.